Okay, in this video, we're going to look at what I like to call the special case equations. So you may be wondering, what are special case equations? What is she going to hit me with now? Well, all these equations we've been looking at so far usually have one solution. But I'm going to blow your mind for a second, and I'm going to tell you that there's some equations that have no solutions. And there are other equations that have infinitely many solutions. Anything could work. So you may be wondering, how is that even possible? Well, let's look at an example. If I tell you that x is equal to x, how many solutions do you think that has? Well, remember, a solution is a number that makes the equation true if we put it in for the variable. So let's try a number. Let's try 1. If we put 1 in for x, we would get 1 equals 1. Is that true? Yes, it is. How about if we try 2, though? 2 equals 2. Still true. So how many solutions do you think this has? 2? Well, if we try 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all of these solutions make the equation true, which means that in this case, there are infinitely many solutions. And there we go. There are infinitely many solutions in this case. And you can tell an equation that has infinitely many solutions if you end up seeing anything on the left side being the same as what's on the right side. So for example, if I have an equation x plus 4 is equal to x plus 4, how many solutions do you think this would have? Well, since the left side and the right side are exactly the same, this will also have infinitely many solutions. So again, as long as the left side is equal to the right side when you simplify it, it has infinitely many solutions. All right, that was simple enough. But how can you tell if an equation has no solutions at all? All right, let's see. Okay, so in this case, we have x plus 1 being equal to x. And some of you right away would see that x plus 1 can never be equal to x because these two things, x and x, are the same, and then you have this pesky little 1 added to the left side. But let's say you didn't immediately see this and you were actually really trying to solve this equation. Then you could go ahead and try to get the variables on one side. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract x from the left so that I can get rid of that and get it over on that side. And then we'd get 1 is equal to x minus x is 0. Is that ever true? It is never, ever, ever, ever true. Which means that how many solutions does this have? This has no solutions because there is nothing at all that I can put in for or number or variable x that will make this true because 1 is never equal to 0. All right, so let's try 1 or 2 and see if we can figure out if we have infinitely many solutions or no solutions at all. Okay, so let's start off with example 1. And in example 1, we have parentheses, so we have to go ahead and simplify the left side of that equation before we start to move things around. So we're going to multiply the 5 by 2x and multiply the 5 by 1. That's our distributive property. So we get 10x when we multiply 5 by 2x, and we get plus 5 when we multiply 5 by 1 is equal to 10x. Now, some of you can already see what's going to happen here, but I'm going to just go ahead and finish it out just to humor you. And so remember, we want all the x's, all the terms with the variables on one side of the equation. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 10x from this side so I can get rid of it on this side and get it to join the other x. And so what we have on the left side at this point is 5 is equal to, and well, we know that 10x minus 10x is actually 0. Well, is that ever possible? Can 5 ever be equal to 0? It cannot, which means that on the left side, the answer is no solution. All right, that doesn't mean that on the right side it will have infinitely many solutions. We definitely have to go ahead and check. All right, so We do have parentheses on the right side, so let's go ahead and use a distributive property so we can simplify. And so we have here 2 times 3x gives us, sorry, that's not true. 2 times 3x gives us 6x, plus 2 times 1 gives us 2, is equal to 6x plus 2. And now, as you can see, 6x plus 2 on the left, 6x plus 2 on the right, they are the same thing. Once we have the same things on both sides, you know that there are infinitely many things that will make this true. So our answer is that in this case, there are infinitely many solutions. And we could even test it out here. We could plug 5 in, 2 in, 1 in, and we'll get that these two things are always equal to each other. So that's our answer there. All right, that's it.